The most notorious and beloved establishment in this region is Fred's Hotel, located in Chapeau, Quebec. Situated on the Ottawa River, this quiet French community once boomed as the logging industry exploded through here in the 1850s. Linus Hardy is an outfitter and local historian who's been going to the hotel most of his life. Linus began cutting wood at the age of 10 and still lives in the very house he was born in some 82 years ago.
They took a lot of the square timber to Quebec City and they passed down by Chapeau. They drove the logs down the river because it was the cheapest transportation they could get. So they took millions and millions of feet of pine and saw logs and pulp down the river. For over 100 years they did that. The first logging was done in this country was the square timber. The reason why they squared them in the woods is because when they put them on the ships, they wouldn't roll. If there was a rough sea, the logs couldn't roll because they were square. If they were round, they could roll, and maybe if they all went to one side at the same time, they could upset the ship.
This hotel had only a handful of owners since it was first opened over 130 years ago. The hotel was built in Chapeau before the church, which was completed in 1888. The hotel has managed to transcend time, technology, and cultural shifts that have spanned 3 centuries. Prior to 1960, women were not even permitted into these hotels.
There was no refrigerator at Fred's Bar till 1954. It was all ice before that, and you went out to the ice house and you dug out a block of ice and you put it on the wheelbarrow and you brought it over to the back step and you washed it and you carried it in. Some of them weighed about 200 pounds, and it was a struggle to get them up the stairs.
Fred Mayer started working at the hotel in 1941 and purchased it 10 years later. Fred and his son Rolly, along with their family, welcomed and entertained customers from all over the world. They came in droves for the mouth-watering cuisine and unsurpassed hospitality. Fred and his family ran the hotel until Rolly's passing in 2002.
You didn't have to be a millionaire to go out and enjoy yourself. People would all go out to the hotels on Saturday night to see a fight. They'd line the streets if they figured some boys was going to fight there. There was no knives or stuff like that, mostly all fists. Fists and boots. But the most of the good men didn't look for a fight. The fellas that couldn't fight was the ones that started everything. That's the way it was.
Chapeau was originally settled by a large contingent of Irish, making St. Patrick's Day one of the most celebrated days in the community and at the hotel.
Well, they started in the morning. As soon as they opened up, it started in the morning, and it was local talent, and they'd come in and they'd have a few beers first to get warmed up, and then they'd start singing, and then the first thing you know, it went all day. And it went till about 3 or 4 o'clock the next day. It was a family history. Sometimes there would be 2 or 3 generations of the same family there for St. Patrick's. It wasn't even good standing room at times. You couldn't fall down because there was no room to fall. Didn't matter how drunk you got, you were always on your feet because somebody held you up. Fred and Rolly were going through the people and shaking hands with people and stopping and talking to them at the table, and they were really something worth seeing.
Fred's Hotel was a place where good times were not allowed to end. On Fridays and Saturday nights, the bar would literally not close. People would be packed like sardines under a veil of thick smoke as the whiskey flowed and the sounds of Leonard Cohen and the Rolling Stones bled from the sound system above. 3 days after filming Linus Harding's interview, Fred's Hotel was razed to the ground. Local residents broke down on the streets as their beloved hotel burned before their very eyes. For the first time in over 130 years, the legendary bar on the main street of Chapeau, Quebec is closed for business, marking the end of an era and also the most notorious hotel in the region.